Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Econ Kate 88, and I'm in my hometown, Toledo, Ohio, and I'm downtown today. This is an empty building. It's been abandoned for years. I think the Chinese have bought this, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if this building has a date with the wrecking ball or they're going to remodel it. I don't know yet. But anyway, this is 200 North St. Clair Street, downtown. This is the heart of downtown. And I got a couple things I want to talk about in this video. First, I want to thank everyone that's been a subscriber from day one. Went over the 1,000 mark last week, and I'd said I was going to give away a few small prizes once I reach that number, and I have. So I'm going to do a drawing on a website, random.org, and I'm going to give away some restaurant gift certificates that you can use at various places across the country. So, and I'm going to pick just in order from rows and columns. Probably going to do 5 prizes total, and then I'll maybe do a video while I'm doing it, doing the count. And if you win and you want the restaurant gift certificates, you'll have to send me an address where you want them sent. You don't have to give me your name. Just make up a name. It doesn't make any difference to me. But give me an address wherever you want them sent. Your home, your office, anywhere. It doesn't make any difference. And I'll have them to you in a few days after I do the drawing. Just my little way of a small thank you to everybody. So hopefully you win. You can take your family out to dinner someplace in your hometown. This is another building here that was restored with government money that the city of Toledo is now on the hook for, when they had the bright idea of all these young professionals and high flyers moving downtown for the nightlife and the new park benches, as you can see. Various artwork that we've spent millions of dollars on in a bankrupt city, which I call the pothole capital of the world. I think Toledo probably has about as bad, the roads here have to be as bad as anywhere else in the U.S. Could very well rival places in the third world. I've actually been to parts of the third world that had better roads than we do here in Toledo. You can see Toledo, Ohio is the glass capital of the world. I just noticed this, so I wanted to turn around, let everybody know that. And Libby, which you see there, is a glass company, which is headquartered in the Toledo area. So this building that you're looking at now, as I said, it was a handout to, I believe, this family that you see the name on the sign there, Nick, E-Y-D-E. I believe they're from Michigan, and they've basically helped rip off the Toledo taxpayers for tens of millions of dollars doing various real estate quote-unquote development projects. The ground floor of this building was supposed to be retail. It's now empty. Actually, this backside has been empty for years. This Bees Market, which is a carryout that was opened on the ground floor, it's also gone out of business within the last 6 months. So just another stupid idea by politicians. And actually this building now is pretty much occupied by Section 8 type tenants. So they didn't get exactly their target market, which was young professionals, up-and-comers, artsy type people. They wound up basically turned into a high-rise housing project. It's called the Riverfront Apartments. There's where the carryout used to be, and it's, like I said, it's empty now. Been that way for about 6 months. You see the conditions of the roads here. This is the primary road that goes through downtown Toledo, Summit Street, on the corner of Summit and Madison. You can see the condition of the road. It's terrible. But yet they still have millions of dollars to plant these stupid flowers every year, which they look nice, but of course it's somebody else's money that's being used. Now on top of that, this is what's known as Promenade Park. And you know, I've made another group of videos about the parks levy that's on the ballot this fall. This is Promenade Park, and the city decided to spend $2 million renovating this park, and I'll let you read the sign for yourselves. I'll just kind of stand here for a second so you can get a glimpse of it. Hit the pause button if you really want to read all this waste that's going on here. So $2 million to renovate a park, plus they want a levy for city parks. That building there is the old steam plant. That's been a focus of the news several times. They've talked about turning that into lofts and apartments and on, and hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it ever will happen, who knows. But in this depressed city, they got $2 million to waste on another park that hasn't really been used in years. This used to be where Party in the Park happened, which was another government sponsored program. And it was a good time. People used to come down here. They had bands and beer and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't able to support itself. So, of course, when the city budget acts fell, they cut Party in the Park. So, I guess maybe they're planning on bringing back Party in the Park. I don't really know why they needed to spend $2 million renovating this, because all it is green space. That's all it ever was. Over here is, you can see on the ground floor, maybe all those spaces are boarded up. I don't know if this place has got a date with the wrecking ball. Who knows? I know the Chinese have bought a hotel in the area. I'll show it to you in a second here. That's Jefferson and Summit there. And that building that you see now is what used to be the Seagate Hotel, or Hotel Seagate. It's been empty for a few years. It's for sale. Maybe you can see that sign there. For sale. But again, it's been empty for years now. Next to it is the Park Inn, and that's the one that the Chinese investors bought. I think they paid like $4 million for it. I might be off on that by $1 million, but nevertheless, a lot of people may think that's a cheap price for prime. I guess I shouldn't use the word prime, but it's located in the heart of the downtown district, and the Chinese are investing in various properties throughout the Toledo area, so I guess they can house their own visitors when they're here. This here is a bar that has changed hands a few different times in the last couple of years. So all this hoopla about the downtown nightlife and how great business in downtown's doing. You can see there, first it was a jazz bar for years. I forgot the name of it, but it's just not coming to my thoughts at the moment. Then it changed to Flame on the river. That didn't last very long at all. And then some guy reopened it a little less than a year ago and called it 151 on the water, and it was reopened as a jazz bar and all that kind of stuff. And apparently he didn't pay his taxes and he didn't pay his water bill, and so the city last month padlocked the place along with the state of Ohio. There was a note on the rear of the building here because I saw it myself. I don't know if it's still there, but basically the Ohio Tax Commission shut the place down, ordered the place closed. This building that you're looking at is called Fort Industry Square. It's also owned by the city of Toledo, and it's filled with vacancies. There's a few offices in here, but for the most part it's vacant. And it's a topic of conversation quite often. I'm going to get a quick thing of this sign. I'm going to end this video because I'm at 10 minutes. You can see there, tax commissioner shut him down. That's it for this one. Econ K88 from the Economic Collapse Ground Zero.